Okay, as you've watched all the videos, you can see a bit of a theme. Parents are one of your best supports and resources. It's important to accept help. Your attitude and approach to dealing with your special needs child is an important part of your peace of mind. I spoke a little bit before about the 10 principles in my book, Peaceful Parenting, 10 Essential Principles. I spoke of respect and the need to just breathe. Now I want to address 3 more of those principles, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Connect with your Creator, know your true identity, and nurture awareness. It's so easy to get caught up in the overwhelm of disappointment, new experiences, grief, anger, fear, feeling like you're on your own and wading through an obstacle course of mud. That's not your own making. It's easy to feel resentful and confused. So, I'd like to recommend some principles to keep you grounded and connected and at peace. There are many studies that show the efficacy of a regular meditation practice. It's been proven to lower stress, anxiety, and depression, to improve physical health and emotional outlook. In children, it's been shown also to reduce stress, anxiety, and depression, but also better school performance, higher test grades, better emotional regulation, and better focus, and an overall calmer mood. So when you're dealing with such an enormous amount of stress on a daily basis, as you are, a regular meditation practice is the first thing I would recommend. It's not a magic bullet. It takes time. But it really does actually change the neural pathways in your brain by calming the fight or flight center and strengthening the parts of the brain used in emotional regulation and decision making, as well as self-control. I recommend setting aside 20 minutes twice a day to do this. So if you don't have time to do 20 minutes twice a day, just simply do what you can do. The main idea is to just do it, to just show up every single day. Because studies show that even when you have a disrupted meditation time or your monkey brain keeps going all over the place, it is still an effective meditation if you very gently just bring yourself back to your focus. Now that focus might be a mantra, and a mantra can be the names of God, it can be Yahweh, it can be God, it can be Abba, it can be just the sound Ah or Om. It's the open vowel sound that helps you connect with the vibration that you need to connect with. If you don't want to do a mantra, you can just focus on your breath. How the breath feels going in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in and breathe out. And so every time that monkey brain starts going all over, which it will, you just gently bring yourself back to the breath in and out. Don't condemn yourself. Don't say, oh rats, now I screwed it up so I'm going to quit. Just keep on keeping on. Bring it back to the mantra. Bring it back to the breath. Or another way of doing it is just focusing on a body part like your hands or your heart. Feel the blood running through your hands with your eyes closed. It's amazing what you can feel. And it's also amazing that you'll find yourself not so caught up in the crazy thinking that we do, making the shopping list, letting out the dog, oh, I need to do this report for work. Just gently bring it back to your mantra, the breath, or whatever you're focusing on, your hands or your heart. So that's one thing about meditation. It's an important thing to do. Doesn't really matter how you do it. It will change the neural pathways in your brain over time, and you will begin to see results. I'd also recommend thinking of 3 things that you're thankful for before you get up in the morning, as well as 3 more things before you go to sleep at night. A life of gratitude is a good life. Now, for when you're feeling overwhelmed and scattered, here are some grounding techniques. They're easy and fun, and they can work for you, but they can also work for your kids. The grounding techniques involve using the senses, growing roots, focusing on sensations in a body part like your hands. So let me explain what these are for just a minute. When you use your senses, sight, hearing, sound, smell, taste, anytime you concentrate on any one of those things, it can help ground you. If you stop for a minute and just smell the coffee, or listen to the birds tweeting outside, or the tree frogs in your pond, or the leaves rustling as you walk. Those things are ways you can use your senses. What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you hear? What do you see? Or what do you feel? You know, what you might even want to have your kid pet a dog or a cat. Those kinds of things, use the senses. Now, as far as establishing roots, you can imagine when you're feeling really scattered and your monkey brain is really going crazy, you just put your feet both on the floor and picture roots going deep, deep, deep into the earth. This is an especially fun trick for kids. You can even go on a walk with putting roots down with every step. And while you're doing this, it's a grounding technique. It causes you to put all your attention on putting roots into the ground, and you're not as worried with all the things that are going through your mind at the time. Good grounding technique for kids. So as we continue, here's some things you can do. You can take a mindfulness hike where you are walking through the woods, and then you sit down and listen to the brook running, or listen to the birds chirping. That's a great way to do it. Or look for a particular kind of mushroom, or a particular kind of herb, or a particular kind of fern. Whatever you're doing, you're causing a different kind of awareness, and you're pulling the kids into a calmer state. Other things that we are talking about, smelling different kind of oils. If you have essential oils in your home, how does lavender make you smell? How does eucalyptus make you feel? Taking some deep breaths and watching your child's belly rise and fall. They often like that kind of mindfulness technique as well. Taking time to smell the roses, taking a walk outside. Those are good mindfulness techniques. Awareness, petting a dog or a cat, as I mentioned before. Fishing, catching tadpoles, great mindfulness exercises. Walking in a creek or in the grass barefoot. Those are really kind of good mindfulness techniques for you and your kids. Now, I'd like to take a minute just to explain the progressive muscle relaxation, which is another kind of mindfulness technique and can also help you fall asleep at night. You just take every muscle group, starting with your head, going all the way down to your toes. And you tighten that muscle group, tighten your forehead for 10 seconds, release it for 10 seconds. Tighten your jaw for 10 seconds, release it for 10 seconds. Tighten your shoulders for 10 seconds, release it for 10 seconds. Your biceps, your triceps, your fists, your back, your chest, your shoulder blades, each different muscle group is tightened and then released. And as you work your way down the body, you just picture that stress flowing out of your body into a big drain on the floor. So that's a really good one to help your child learn to go to sleep. You can even record that on your smartphone so that you have it for your child to play before he or she goes to sleep each night, or for yourself for that matter. Another mindfulness exercise is to listen to different kinds of music and just notice how it makes you feel. A drum beat, a guitar playing, piano playing. Now, what you're working on in meditation is connecting to your Creator. It's like marinating in an Epsom salts bath with lavender. When you soak in it, it pulls toxins out of your body and leaves its fragrance on you, lingering throughout the evening. The same happens when you meditate. It pulls toxins out of your mind and leaves the fragrance of your Creator, which is love, joy, peace, wisdom, and creativity. It helps you then realize principle 2. You know your true identity. When you spend enough time marinating in His presence, you realize that you are one with Him, and you will find it more difficult for circumstances and trials and confusion to knock you off balance. Then, as you practice the mindfulness techniques we discussed as a way of life, you're nurturing your awareness. You're learning to live in this present moment, which is, in fact, the only moment you have. So yes, you are embarking on a long and difficult journey. I hope you found some ideas and resources from these videos that make it easier for you to navigate those rough waters, and that you know that you're not alone. Wishing you all the best to you and your family. And remember, just breathe.